welcome to the celebration of the 2019-2020 season for the Regis Rangers. Hi, I'm your host, Justin Adams, the voice of the Regis Rangers. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk to a couple of athletes who won some awards this season and have a chance to catch up with them and also recap the season that was at Regis University. And to get things started, let's talk to our coach of the year, and that's Sarah Kellner, who in the past 2 years led the women's lacrosse team to back-to-back national semifinals appearances. What does this mean? When you know that the other student athletes have named you and voted you the coach of the year, and also the faculty, the other coaches as well, to vote you with that distinction. What does it mean to be the coach of the year this year?
Well, of course, I'm incredibly honored. I think it's very generous considering we only played 4 games this season. But we all know that it's not just about the games, it's about the practices, the time and effort that you put in on the field, off the field. I am surrounded by incredibly gifted student athletes, incredibly gifted coaching staffs, and I'm not just talking about lacrosse players. The entire Regis Athletics team is just a tremendous group to be a part of.
Yeah, it's only 4 games though, Coach. I know you're just itching to play a little bit more. You know, you had a couple of more W's in your back pocket, I know, Coach. With that being said, how difficult was it where you 2-2 getting ready for your home opener, and then you get the call that, hey, the season is paused for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it was shocking. Obviously, we all watched the news and what was happening around the country. We just really weren't expecting it to go, none of us were, as big as it did and as quickly as it did. You're going from game planning, we have our home opener the next day, to walking onto the practice field and telling our players that we were done for the year. It was heartbreaking, and that's really all I can say about it. It was devastating for us as a staff and the players.
The season wasn't lost. This season still had great significance for not only you, but for also your team as well. Tell us about Daisy and how important she was to the program this year.
Daisy Walsh is an exceptional person. She was brought onto our team through a group called Team Impact 6 years ago, and we've been so honored to be a part of her journey with her and her family. For the student athletes, I think above anything, it was just like really great perspective to have someone like Daisy in our lives. It started off as maybe, and from the outside, looked like a community service project, but it was so much more than that. The relationships that our girls built with the time and commitment, and they just put their whole hearts into Daisy and Isabella and the entire family. It was so extremely special. And you're right, the 2020 season was cut short. They could write it about the pandemic of coronavirus and everything else, but in my mind and in my heart, and I think the mind and hearts of my players, it's about Daisy and the journey that we went on with her, and losing her in late February, having to start our season like that, and then not being able to be together to go through that grieving process is, again, very heartbreaking. But we all are so grateful to have had the opportunity to be on that journey and to experience life with her, and to see it from her perspective too. Just an incredible blessing for myself, my family, and I know all the Regis lacrosse players.
When you get to 2021 and you're able to come back together again with the coaches as well as with the players, how would you be able to live out her memory on the field yet again? And how does this bring everybody closer together, obviously, with the great story of Daisy?
Yeah, so she's a jokester, she's a prankster. I think that it'd be important to smile, to laugh, to know that that's what she wants us to do, and to not take a moment for granted. The hard stuff, the good stuff, and everything in between, and just to live life to our very, very best.
Congratulations, Coach Sarah. You did a fantastic job this season. And one of our best players this year was named as the Women's Crest Club Winner. And that's Allie Vanek, who talked about just how important it was to be named as the Crest Club Winner.
I think just Crest Club in general, the people that have come before me, Wendy and Jada, who are both lacrosse players that had it, it means a lot coming and just like stepping up kind of in their shoes, but it also means a lot to just represent such a big award. I don't even think it needed to be awarded. I just felt like the award in itself was just being involved, especially with Daisy and our team impact, that in itself and that relationship that we were able to build with her and her family was worth it for me anyway. So the award was just something really nice to kind of sum up such a great life. I think hopefully I can represent a little bit of the impact that she made on our team with this award.
Allie stands out for a lot of reasons. I think number one for me is her leadership. She's just a natural leader. She has a wonderful heart, a great personality. People gravitate towards her and the goodness that she brings. She serves her community. She wants to be involved. Obviously, she's a phenomenal lacrosse player, and she's put a lot of time into her craft and worked really, really hard, overcoming injuries throughout her career. We were really sad for her and the other seniors when our season got cut short. But again, like, she made such a big impact in the 4 years, including this year, just leading her peers. Even older girls that have already graduated have been impacted by Allie.
The thing that I hope stands out the most is not the stats, but it's like the impact that I left and the legacy that I leave behind on the field, you know, off and on the field, just hoping that people and lacrosse players that come after me, or even athletes, just remember me as like a positive person who worked hard and was really giving to others. And that's, I think, over the stats, that's really what I want to see is hopefully people remember me like that instead.
The men's soccer team had a fantastic year this year, getting all the way to the RMAC championship game, and they could thank two guys who were able to come away with some awards this year. First up, Luca Kuda, who was named as the Male Student-Athlete of the Year, and Porter Milner, who was named as the Male Crest Club Winner. Had a chance to catch up with them as well as head coach Tony McCall.
It's been a great 4 years, and I have to thank Coach McCall for giving me a chance, because he signed an 18-year-old kid that he'd never really met, only seen in a video, talked to twice, and I came in. First year I struggled a little bit to adjust to the new way of playing soccer, and then the whole 4 years was amazing, and to cap it off with that, I'm not entirely sure I really deserved it that season. I think I had a good season. Not sure if I was the best player that year on the team or even within the department, but I think over the whole 4 years, it's definitely an accomplishment that honors, I guess, what I have done or what we've done over the past 4 years. So I'm proud of it. I'm happy to have it, and I can't wait for it to come.
I think he embodies everything that goes into being a team player. You know, he was obviously very talented coming in as a freshman. I think, you know, he's right. He took time for him to adjust to the American game of soccer, because the college game is so different from the regular game. And, you know, I just think over the 3 additional years, he just grew into being such a talented, well-balanced, likable young man. I mean, who, you know, carried himself with class and who was always, you know, as positive as he could possibly be. Had some injuries that he had to overcome, but you know, I knew that whenever we recruited Luca, that the plan was to specifically put him and Porter together. We thought that they would be a good, you know, that would be a good transition for Luca coming in, and you know, Porter and Luca now are as thick as thieves, and you know, it worked out really well. So Luca's fully deserving of all the accolades that he gets, and I just wish that we could have added another NCAA term experience with that.
Thinking back on my 4 years, you make friendships, you make a brotherhood with all sorts of guys from all walks of life, and it was an honor for me to be able to be the captain this year and kind of take all those guys under my wing and try and guide them in the right direction, and hopefully, I mean, it worked out pretty well, and these guys are all, we talked about it so many times throughout the season, they're just good kids. Like, they're good guys, they're kind and they're smart, and that, I think, all transitions onto the soccer field.
What a lot of people don't realize is that Porter was hurt for most of the year and played actually most of 2 years, and played through a lot that, you know, average student athletes wouldn't try to play through. So, you know, whenever you've got a leader like that who, in all reality and all honesty, shouldn't have really played as many minutes as he did, just speaks volumes to the character and the leadership. You know, he leads by example, it's not by talk, he leads by action. And so, I couldn't have been any prouder having Porter with us. And now that looking in him have, graduated and moving on, we're going to really miss them.
Winning the Crest Club Award is a huge honor as well. I think that, I've seen it happen in the past 3 years, going to each athlete banquet, and it's definitely a goal that any student athlete should set for themselves coming in freshman year. So it's an honor to win that, and I'm really excited to be a part of that club.
Hi, I'm Joel List, head volleyball coach at Regis University, and this is my top moment of the year. That was a great match to go in. I thought we played very well. Just coming off of playing in the regional championship and playing one of the cleanest matches that I'd seen in many years against Colorado School Mines, who can give you fits. And so to play well against them, went right into St. Leo and we didn't miss a beat.
I could literally run wherever, everything that I wanted, because the ball was always getting into my hands. And everyone was just super excited to be there. It kind of felt like we were playing at home, like I said, with all the fans.
So we thought we matched up really well against them. It was so familiar to us, but maybe a little new to them. And so we had a little bit of an advantage of being experienced, having 6 seniors on the team, gone through that. So I just tried to keep it as simple as possible.
I think I used all my hitters kind of the same, because everyone was putting the ball down, and the blockers, I think their blockers didn't even know who to block anymore, because everyone was doing their job. So that was my strategy, just feed everyone, because everyone was really hot and ready to put the ball down.
The volleyball team swept St. Leo University in the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament and got all the way to the Final Four for just the 3rd time in program history. Now, the Rangers wouldn't have got there without the help of SILVIA Basso, who was Miss 2019. She was the Setter of the Year in the RMAC. She was also the Player of the Year in the RMAC. And oh, by the way, she's the Women's Student Athlete of the Year for the Regis Rangers, doing a great job as always. Now, Sylvia is from Italy, and she talked about just what it meant to travel around the United States with her teammates as one of her favorite moments at her time at Regis University.
This was an amazing experience, because I got to visit so many places, so many states that, Alaska or Florida, places that I didn't think I could ever visit. And it was just a once in a lifetime experience, some of those trips, and sharing that with my teammates, they made it so much better, and with my coaches.
Well, you're smiling, saying that the things were better a lot because of your coaches as well. And we have Joel List right here. Joel, talk about Sylvia and what she meant to your team. And we talked several times before my time, with my time being at Regis University, about the importance of having a good setter. Why was Sylvia the Setter of the Year?
Sylvia is like a sponge when it comes to learning, and that's on and off the court. Obviously learning another language, learning how to fit in, learning the game. And so she was the sponge, and she's competitive. And so you combine all those things over the matter of 4 years. By the time you're a senior, we always want to see that. We want to see you keep improving, and she did, and she got all the accolades. All-American teams to regionals and all those type of accolades don't happen without a lot of hard work.
This past year was just it was probably the best year of all 4, just because it was full of happiness, and it was overwhelming and wild, and just so many memories, and it was just so fun, and I'm gonna miss it so much. I knew we had a great team, but we had some accomplishments that they were just crazy. We made Elite 8 twice, and won regionals twice. It was, and the support that we got from all the teams playing for Regis, all the different athletes, that made it way more special.
Great job, Sylvia. Finally, it's time to hear from Father Fitzgibbons, who has a special message for all the student athletes.
student-athlete class of 2020. This academic year has truly been one of a kind. As a Regis University community, we have faced many unprecedented challenges, but in the end, you prevailed. And you helped us prevail too. From the cyber event to the current health crisis, you have shown your leadership and spirit to one another and across our community. To the senior student athletes who had their final season of competition cut short in the spring, I want to extend my sincerest appreciation for all your hard work, both inside and outside of the classroom. Missing out on Senior Day is truly upsetting for us all. This is a day meant to celebrate your academic and athletic accomplishments with your family and your loved ones as you compete for the final time as Regis Rangers. However, no pandemic or safeguarding of your health and well-being can diminish or take away the amazing accomplishments, championships, or memories that you have created and been part of you during your time at Regis. You are all a true embodiment of the Win, Graduate, Lead, pillars of Regis athletics. To all of our graduating student athletes, athletics have played an important role in your educational process. Coaches, professors, and parents have finished their task of mentoring and training you. Make sure you take time to thank them. Take what you have learned from all of them and make a smooth transition into your life's next journey. Again, I would like to thank you for all that you have given to your sport, to Regis University, and the community around us. I wish you all the very best. Go forth and set the world on fire, Rangers. We will all be cheering for you in the weeks and months and years ahead.
Thank you so much, Father Fitzgibbons, for the tremendous message. Well, that's the end of our program, the celebration of the 2019-2020 season. I want to say thank you so much for joining us, and also thank you to the rest of the teams here at Regis University as well. The men's and women's basketball team, the golf team, cross country, baseball, and the women's soccer team. And oh, by the way, did I miss anything else? No. I miss you, and we can't wait to see you in 2020 as we get ready to celebrate another tremendous year here at Regis University. I also want to give a special shout out to Jake Brantley, the SID, who did a great job helping me with the interviews, and also David Spafford, our tremendous athletic director. So until then, I'm Justin Adams saying so long, and I will see you next year. Be blessed.